What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another show. Thanks for being here. Smash a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. And for once, I'm not starting the show by saying bomba. There's no bomba here today. We're just going to have a nice show talking about all the transfer gossip, all the news, what's going on at Tottenham. We'll have some guests on at some point a bit later on, but for now, just going to have a chat with you, the audience, and we can just talk football. So smash a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all the good stuff. Let's get the rolling banner across the bottom. I don't even know if this works, okay? Every show I have this rolling, they call it a ticker, this rolling ticker that says like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I've got no idea if it actually has any impact, but you know, I've only got two. I use this one, and then I use this for when I have guests. I put this on the screen for about 10 seconds to encourage people to follow their channels as well. But I don't know, does it work? Does it not work? Who knows? So let's say hello to a few of you in the chat. Let's see who's here. I don't think there's going to be many here tonight because obviously the World Cup's on, and I think most people are going to want to watch the World Cup football because that's the only football we've got. Raka. What a name is it? What a name you've got. Lange, get out of our club, you knob. Such a poisonous trash in the football industry. Let me know what you think of Lange. I'd be interested to really understand what you think, What a start to the show. Tony Rodriguez, big up still, guests and the chat. Big up to you, Tony Rodriguez. Rich as man, how you doing as always? Angry Birds, hello. Good to see you again. Scottsburg, good to see you too. Evening, the salute. Normally, I do two fingers like that when I do my player analysis shows. I always end the show by going, peace. And as always, peace. Kale Darnage, hello. Watching this from Bali. Oh, my man, Bali. You must be loving that. To be fair, Cyprus isn't too bad either. So today, check this out. I've got a friend who's living in Nicosia. He came down to Paphos with his family and they're staying in one of the hotels on the seafront. So I spent the morning at the hotel in a swimming pool, sunbeds, and then we went, got a bit of food, and then I drove all the way to the other end of Paphos. There's this cafe by the beach. And I just sat there watching videos and I fell asleep. I fell asleep. It's an outdoor cafe with like big sofas and cushions. And then I came back home and I thought, right, I've got a YouTube show to do. It's pretty hot out here. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's pretty hot. But we've got the sea, so it's okay. Scott Amos, how you doing? Evening still. Hope you're well, mate. I'm good. I hope you're doing well. The Sporting Journey, good evening still. Hope you're well, mate. I hope you're well too. A channel member. I think you might be our first. I think you might be our first channel member. Let me check, actually. Hold on. I need to check this out. Let's find out if the Sporting Journey is the first ever channel member. This is a big moment. This is a very big moment. I'm just going into the back end of YouTube where I can find all the data. And we will find out. Okay, let's go to the members section. Analytics. Where's the members? Audience. Right, I'm going to tell you now. Let's have a look. Right, members. You're the second member. Harsh, mate. You're the second member. I thought you were the first. Who's the... Okay, I don't know who the first is. I'll have to go and check. But you are the second member. Listen, I'll never forget you now. I'll never forget you, the Sporting Journey. Big up. Psycho Teacher, good evening, sir. Good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Chopped cheese. Stel, how about that US team? I'd take a bunch of those guys at Spurs. Malik Tillman, Florian Balogun, Pulisic. Now, Balogun, I remember watching him when I was coaching. He was a young kid at Arsenal, and he did really well at Arsenal, Balogun, and I'm surprised they didn't keep him. But, you know, they've won the league, so they don't care. But I would have kept him. Pulisic, yeah, look, Pulisic, he's been good everywhere he's been. The thing is, are these players really, really good? Or is Pochettino just a good coach, which is something I've always said. You know, he gets a lot of stick, but, you know, Poch is a good coach. He's a good coach. Wobbles GB, hello to you as well. After what you did for me and Lee, it's nothing. Oh, that's all right, my man. Sporting Journey's a Leeds United fan, for any of you that don't know. Top guy. Sometimes he bounces around on some of the channels. Anticlimax, yeah, that was a bit of a... I thought it was going to be the first. I really thought it was going to be the first. But listen, here's a comeback for you. I'm used to that too, so my wife keeps telling me. How'd you like some of that? De La Spurs, the best name on YouTube, De La Spurs. As an American, I can say Poch has done his work with that team. Bro, I'm telling you, there's a lot of haters. There's a lot of Spurs fans that hate Poch, hate Romero, just hate all the time. And they don't actually try and understand what went wrong. Are there factors out of their control, other bits that, you know, we've got to... Is there context? Is there nuance? And with Poch, look, the way I saw it at Poch was he was never backed, right? He was never backed. And he had a really good starting 11, but he had a very bang average bench and substitutes to pick from. Then he went to PSG where he won trophies, but everyone wins trophies there. So that's going to be the excuse. They are, but everyone wins when they go there. Then he went to Chelsea. Chelsea have been nothing short of diabolical since Abramovich left. Poch got them to a cup final, back into Europe, a semi-final. Like, he did well. And to be fair, Chelsea should have beaten Liverpool in that cup final. The amount of chances Chelsea missed, it's not Poch's fault that the attackers missed chance after chance after chance. Then Liverpool got that one goal and they put the game to bed. So I don't know. I think Poch gets a raw deal. But, you know, haters will hate. Ghost LDN, big up, Stel. Well, big up to you as well. Chopped cheese. Two can be true at the same time. And yeah, you're right. You can have good players and a good coach. I agree. Pulisic has been AC Milan's best player, outshining guys like Leao. Mate, Pulisic was good at Chelsea as well. Balogun, 20 G8 at Monaco last season. Listen, I liked Balogun. I remember doing a video, I think on Tottenham Away, saying if Balogun's going to leave Arsenal, we should get him. And I remember people saying to me, nah, he's crap, he's rubbish. All the Arsenal fans, nah, he's no good. I was like, really? He was brilliant at youth level. Tillman looked good, actually, I have to say. Tillman looked good. The only thing is, well, look, just one bit of, what's the word? Let's not get carried away. They didn't exactly play a top team, right? It wasn't the hardest game. Let's see how they do in the next couple of games to really judge. But if they play that kind of football again, listen, you never know. Big up, Stu. I'm good, mate. Oh, a couple of you having a chat in the chat. Johnny Tottenham. Oi, oi, legend. Oi, oi to you as well. Robbie has just shouted out goal. So I'm guessing there's a game on right now. In fact, let's check. Paraguay were awful, to be fair. And this is kind of my point a little bit. You know, Paraguay weren't exactly great. But that was partly down to... it's Germany versus Caraco. Germany 2-1 up. They've just scored, right? Yeah, Germany will win that. So, by the way, what do you think of the hair transplant? I can't believe how much it's grown. Like this, all this, and that was bald. Not bad. Apparently, I've got another... I've got another 4 months for this to get thicker, and then the crown back here, another 6 to 8 months for that to thicken. So this is 8 months post-op. It takes 12 to 18 months. So, but not bad so far. I reckon Jason Cundy has been watching, because Jason Cundy on Talk Sports had one as well. Have you know? Does anybody watch Talk Sport? Because Jason Cundy, he's had the old hair transplantage as well. So maybe he watches Tottenham content. Who knows? Right, who knows? It's all possible. Looking good. That's sensational. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. They actually took hair from the side and the back. They pull it all out, which is painful, by the way. They put it in these little dishes, and then the second day, they kind of insert them in all the other places. So it's your own hair. They just move it around like a jigsaw puzzle. Those Cypriot girls will be all over you, mate. I'll tell you something. I don't know if I can handle Cypriot girls. It's hard work. Yeah. Jamal Yimmer 1491. Arsenal have reached a verbal agreement with Club Brugge to sign Christos Solis. Good player. That's a good player. 40 million, 24 years old. That's a good signing if they get him. But Arsenal can pretty much pick whoever they want right now. Tottenham. Big up. I hope you're good, mate. I'm good. Thank you very much. I think someone was asking, I think it was Sean Baller. Oh, has my internet gone? What is going on? Okay, I'm back. Oh man, do you know what? This internet is killing me. It's killing me. It's not, by the way, I see some of you in the chat saying, by the way, thanks for hanging around. It's not because I'm in this cave, right? I'm waiting, right? Listen to this. I purchased like the top internet. This thing is rapid. I've bought really good internet. I've waited 4 months for them to come and dig up the road and pull the cable underneath the fiber optics and connect it to the house. But now the mayor of the village has told the telecommunications company they're not allowed to dig up the road because they've just relayed the road. So now they're in a dispute. So whilst they're having a dispute, I'm sitting here running off of 5G mobile phone trying to stream these heavy uploads and downloads. So I think I'm cursed. Honestly, I think I'm just cursed when it comes to internet. Anyway, listen, big up everyone in the chat. There's a couple of you that have just jumped in. Let me quickly say hello. Perspective, Claire Cowdray, Hello to all of you, by the way. Ian JD031. Dietrich's in Morocco. We have better internet. I saw Morocco lost the other night. Congratulations on having a rubbish football team, Dietrich's. Congratulations. Tom Kingham, you have the patience of a saint. I haven't got a choice. Don't have a choice. Big up Kale Damage. SGC 101. Who else we got here that I haven't said hello to? Spursy across the pond. Hello, mate. Brandon Brooks. And I believe that is everyone. Yes. All right, let's get going. Let's talk. Let's talk Tottenham. Let's talk Tottenham. All right, one last one there. Spurs rule. How you doing? How you doing? So last week when we did the show, we mentioned that Robertson has officially signed, which he has. And we said Senesi has signed, although some of you were saying that Senesi hasn't officially signed. Well, he has. He's officially signed. So we've got Robertson and we've got Senesi. And there was rumours, I believe, that Ben Davies as well. Ben Davies has also signed for Tottenham Hotspur. Now, listen, I'm just going to say it as it is. And if you get upset, you get upset. I don't rate the Robertson signing. He's 32. He hasn't got the pace he once had when he was at Liverpool. He doesn't get anywhere near the same level of assists, which is what made him so good at Liverpool. And in 1v1 duels against a winger that's got pace, he's not the same player. So defensively, he's not as good. Attacking-wise, he's not as good. And age is not on his side. I don't get it. I would have rather we just go and spend money and sign a really good left-back. You know, you saw USA play Paraguay the other night. Watch Robinson play the Fulham left-back. He's not bad. He's got Premier League experience. He's a good player. Doesn't have to be him, right? But I'm just giving you an example. Go and sign Robertson. Bloody hell. Go and sign Robinson. But then people are going to say to me, oh, we need leaders. We need winners. That's what everyone said when Mourinho was manager and we signed Joe Hart. Do you remember we signed Joe Hart? He's a winner. He's a leader. I'm like, where did that get us? We need quality players. That's what we need. Not winners and leaders. We need quality players. And they will become winners if the manager knows how to coach properly. So for me, this does nothing for me. Now, Senesi, I think it's a really good signing. Really, really good signing because Senesi, 2 seasons ago, he had a very good season. This season, he stepped up as the main centre-back because Husin, Kirkes, the entire back four of Bournemouth got sold. So he had to now step up and lead the back line. And a lot of fans said, oh, Bournemouth, they're not going to be that good this year because they've lost all their defenders. They finished 6th, their highest ever season. Senesi was sensational. Highest for blocks, highest for long ball passing accuracy, playing out from the back. He's made for it. He's done it for the last 2 years under Areola. This is a really good player. He's 29. If you look at all his metrics, he's on the way up. Senesi's on the way up. Robertson's on the way down. Senesi's on the way up. So definitely the next 2-3 years, we've got a really good player there. So I get the Senesi deal. It makes sense to me. Now, Ben Davies, it just stinks. It absolutely stinks of everything that's wrong with Tottenham Hotspur. I don't know how many shows you watch where I'm a guest, but one thing I always say is nothing changes at Tottenham. Nothing's going to be different until the patterns change. And the biggest pattern of change is who we sign and who we sign first. We've signed a 32-year-old from Liverpool on a free because Liverpool don't rate him anymore. We've signed Senesi, good. I've just said I think that's really, really good. And Ben Davies, who has stunk out this club for the last 11 years. He's been part of this mess. He's got nothing to offer. He's out of date. He's expired. He hasn't got pace. He always gets injured. He's nowhere near a good defender anymore. I don't even think he was a good defender. He was all right. What does he bring to the table? And then the excuse is, but he's here because he wants to become a coach. Okay, then be a coach. Don't be a footballer at Tottenham. Because what we've done now is, by signing Robertson and Ben Davies, that's 2 places taken up in the squad where 2 players from the academy could have taken those positions and De Zerbi could have developed them. Or that's 2 places in the squad now where we could have gone and signed better players to be in the squad and take those places. So it's not just that, in my opinion, especially with Ben Davies, it's not just that he's not good enough and he shouldn't be at this club. And it's an absolute joke, like a real joke that he's here. It's the fact he's taking away a place from another potential player that could be in the squad instead. That's my problem with this, more than anything else. Giving squad places to bang average or borderline just crap football players. But, you know, fans will say, if De Zerbi wants him, I want him. If De Zerbi wants him, I don't know if I want De Zerbi. Right? I really like De Zerbi, okay? I really like him. I think he's a top manager. I haven't once said a bad word about him other than the first game where he dropped Paulinho, and I said, what have you just done? We just lost 1-0 to Sunderland. Why are you dropping Paulinho? And then he played Paulinho every other game after that, and we stayed up. But for me, look, signing Ben Davies is a straight red card, right? Referee Lubo is giving that a straight red. And that is alarm bells for me, because De Zerbi could end up being a yes man, people. De Zerbi could be a yes man. Why the fuck would he want Ben Davies? What De Zerbi team have you ever watched play football and said, yeah, Ben Davies, that's exactly what a De Zerbi team wants? What? It doesn't make any sense. So to me, Ben Davies staying, it stinks of a club signing. It stinks of free, cheap. And De Zerbi's basically said, yeah, that concerns me, massively concerns me. I say it as it is. I'm not like the other channels. I say it as it is. You know, everyone says, give it a chance, be patient. No. When I see problems, I say it early on, because these problems, they all add up, and then we know how it normally ends. De Zerbi better not sign off on another one of these stinky players, because if he signs off on another one of these players, I'm going to call it out and say, he's a yes man. We're in trouble. So this Ben Davies one stinks. Robertson, whatever. Senesi, I'm really, really happy with this. I think this is an excellent signing. It perfectly works for De Zerbi's team. But Ben Davies, hell no. Hell no. I don't care if you're loyal. I don't care if you're a nice guy. I don't care if you want to be a coach. You do not deserve to wear a Tottenham Hotspur jersey. Not a chance. You are no good. And that's where I'm at with it. But Senesi, really good signing. Really happy with Senesi. And I'm looking forward to seeing him playing it out from the back, pinging those long balls the way Toby Alderweireld used to play those balls. Senesi's that kind of a distributor of the ball. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him play, because we've struggled playing the ball out the back at times this season and the season before. But he really should lift the levels up across the back line when passing it out from the back. So I'm excited to see what he does. Robertson, I'm not bothered. I just don't care. I think Robertson will have 3-4 good games. Everyone will say, you see, that's why we signed him. And then he'll just completely fall off a cliff. And then that's when I'm going to speak and say, that's what I was warning everyone about. I was trying to tell you that was going to happen. Time will tell. Time will tell. So 3 signings. They're all free. We haven't paid a penny. Typical Tottenham. One of them's really good. One of them shouldn't be at the club. The other one, we're going to have to wait and find out. What are your thoughts on what I've just said? Let's go through some of your comments before we move on, because that's 3 players I've covered, and I'd genuinely like to know what you think. I think most people are really happy with Robertson, as they were when Frank signed. And I remember saying, Thomas Frank, guys, this guy's a loser. I think Robertson's a bad decision. Senesi, I think, is really good. Ben Davies, I want to pull out the hair that I've just implanted. This hair transplant, I want to rip it out because of Ben Davies. I can't stand him being at this club, guys. I can't. Do you know, whenever a new manager comes to the club, Right, we've had all the drama of Conte and Postecoglou becomes new manager. Ben Davies, new contract. Huh? We have all the drama of Ange. New manager comes in, Thomas Frank. Ben Davies signs a new contract. Huh? I thought this is a rebuild. I thought we're starting fresh. Then after the worst season we've had in 20 years, De Zerbi comes in. Everyone's feeling optimistic again. We've got our Tottenham back. This is the rebuild. Club statement from the Lewis family. Club statement from Charrington. Club statement from Vinay. Right, this is really it now. This is the moment. Everything changes. Ben Davies signs a new contract. I give up. You know, I just can't believe how much of a con job this club can be. The way they con fans is it's spectacularly sensational if you're a business owner that you can just mug off your customers and they keep coming back like this. Ben Davies. All right, no more Ben Davies talk. Let me go through your comments. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here moaning about Ben Davies. Do you know, I could actually do a 2-hour show just moaning about Ben Davies. I could actually sit here with this mic and a cup of tea and just moan about Ben Davies for 2 hours by myself. Do you know how psychotic that is? How bad is it up here that that's how I am? All right. Davies is lunacy, mate. Still, any thoughts on maybe? I mentioned him before. 3 years ago, I said we should sign Balogun because I remember watching him in the academies. I remember watching Balogun. Good player. I get your point on Robertson, but I'm happy for leadership and squad. And that's my concern, Tom. This leadership, I think we need winners, not winners. Sorry. I think we need quality. Because I believe quality supersedes everything. If you've got quality and you put it with quality and you've got lots of quality players, I think you naturally win games. But look, with Robertson, we're going to find out. We'll see what happens with that. I still take him over Udogie. Robinson too injury prone. You do know Robertson has had injuries for the last 2 years as well, right? So if you're worried about Robinson being injury prone, go look at Robertson. In fact, whoever comes to Tottenham is going to have injuries, so it's all right. It doesn't matter. We could find the most injury-free player. They'll come to Tottenham. We'll find a way for them to get injured. Evening to you as well, Logan. Just seeing if there's any question. Where's the chat about Senesi and Stel? Davies has been at Tottenham for 13 years. It's even worse then. It's even bloody worse. I think Robertson's a good signing, and I really hope he proves everyone wrong. I think everyone thinks he's good, though. I think everyone agrees with you, Tottenham Therapy. I'm the only one that's saying, what are we doing, right? I think most people think it's a good signing. It's only me he's got to prove wrong. I've got a feeling we're going to be disappointed this summer. Look, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Big up still. Couldn't Spurs go for Solis before? It's too late, mate. Listen, once Arsenal come in, it's like with Eze. As soon as Arsenal came in, it was done. If we wanted Solis, we should have made arrangements sooner and not got into any kind of competition with other clubs. Because once other clubs that have got Champions League or top six and all that, we're just going to struggle to compete. Davies is the symbol of hardworking, loyalty, and shit football. Oh, that is genius. How do you... I can't put it better than what you've just done. Al Ben represents the best of Spurs. Has anyone ever seen Scarface, Tony Montana? That's class A, man. That's class A shit. This comment here, that's class A. That's class A. Brilliant. Tom Kingham, Davies stealing a living. Absolutely. Mediocre, hasn't won it all, 80k a week for being fourth choice. Takes up yes, and yes to everything you just said. To dare is to do is not Davies. is it even Tottenham anymore? Epic are transitioning us from £1 billion youth club to a retirement home. Not Enoch, but Epic. No, listen. You've corrected yourself. Epic is better. I'm going to start calling them Epic, just from a sarcastic perspective. That's good British banter, a bit of sarcasm. It sums up the fans when they're okay with Davies. It's, mate, honestly, he should have gone years ago, yeah. In his prime, he wasn't even, he wasn't even good then. Davies again, ole, ole. Davies again, ole, ole. Davies again. Stel, you might have De Zerbi's hair in 12 months. Listen, I'm not putting any gel or mousse or any styling creams in my hair. I did that when I was younger. I think that's partly the reason my hair fell out, because the amount of cosmetics and chemicals and fertilizers and shoe polish and whatever else I put in my hair. Yes, please. I'm not fussed as we have no Europe next year. Davies will basically be a coach next year. He won't see the bench much. This is my point. So if he's going to be a coach, why is he a player? Make him a coach. Sentimental FC. AD3MM with a capital M after that. I said the same about recent transfer decisions. If he wants this all, then I think I don't want De Zerbi here. Listen, one more strike and I'm De Zerbi out. I'm not mucking around. I've been through this too many times to have any patience. Rome wasn't built in a day. Things are going to change. In De Zerbi we trust. I've heard all this 1,000 times. One more stinky Ben Davies signing. One more stinky signing and I'm done. Because I know how it's going to end. But he's allowed one strike, all right? He's had a strike. Look at the money he's on. Of course, he's going to do as he's told. Yeah, he's a yes man. Ben Davies, yes. Well, De Zerbi, yeah. I was thinking, is he going to be like a Huddleston and play with the 21 and help them, mentor them? Well, if he is, go and coach. De Zerbi said he wanted to keep 10 to 12 players. Am I supposed to believe Davies was... Mate, if Ben Davies is one of them, we are fucked. Absolutely screwed. Get the phone as a coach. Yeah. Yeah. Ex-players that were good, right? Davies, give him a testimony on sending him on his way. Absolutely. I'm going to get onto the Porro story shortly, okay? I'm just doing the ones we've actually signed. I know Porro's signed the contract as well, but I'm going to get onto him after. Henry's A. Goes. Still, if you work for someone, you will have to be a yes man if you want to keep your job. Well, what if you want to do a good job, though? What if you want to do a good job? Because you can't be a yes man if you want to do a good job. Because there's things you're going to see that aren't acceptable, and there's things you're going to see that need to change. And if those things aren't going to be addressed, you're going to be pretty crap at your job, right? But I agree, if you want to keep your job, you have to be a yes man. But then if being a yes man means that you get poor results because you've got crap players and you're going to lose your job. Frank was a yes man, he lost his job. Ange became a yes man, he lost his job. All the Poch ended up being a yes man, he lost his job. In fact, if you're a yes man, you lose your job quicker. You lose your job quicker at Tottenham. That's what the evidence shows us. Hi, Claire. Thanks for being here. We have 2 wet wipes in charge. What do you expect? We're going to get onto Lange, by the way. We're going to talk about Lange. I haven't forgotten him. In fact, let's get onto that now. Let's get onto that now. All right. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you all to help me answer this question, okay? So I'm actually going to type it out and put it on the screen. Alrighty. So let me put the question up on the screen. So the question I want to ask all of you is this. Why the F is Lange still here? Let me repeat that in case any of you didn't quite catch it the first time. Why is Lange, why the F is Lange still here? Now, I was told if we stay up, ENIC are going to be so scared as to nearly getting relegated. They're going to get rid of Vinay. They're going to get rid of Lange. There's going to be a reset. We're going to start signing top players. It's all going to change. And I argued the only way we're going to get rid of Vinay and Lange is if we get relegated. Because if we get relegated, it's because those two made decisions about managers, players, recruitment that took us down. If we stay up, everyone's going to get away with it. And I don't think Lange will end up leaving. I was told he would be gone. And even if we brought in another director of football, it's not to replace Lange, it's going to be to work with him. The only way we get rid of Lange is if we get relegated. Otherwise, he's going to stay. That's what I was arguing with Lubo, with Johnny, with Sean, and everyone else I did a show with. I think I went on Tottenham TV and I said it to Ben and Sim as well. He is still here. I'm not surprised we signed Robertson because who wanted Robertson in January? Lange. The only reason we didn't get him is because the left back of Liverpool, Kirkes, got injured, and that meant they had to keep Robertson because they didn't have another left back. So the only reason we didn't get Robertson in January is because Liverpool had an injury to their left back. So De Zerbi has not signed Robertson because we wanted him when Frank was the manager. So are you telling me that Frank, when he got sacked, when he found out De Zerbi was going to be manager, called up De Zerbi and said, "Yes, hello, this is Thomas Frank. You should sign Robertson. Yes, good player. I wanted him in January." And De Zerbi said, "Hey, he's a good player. Okay, thank you, Mr. Frank. I'm going to sign Robertson. Your advice is spectacular." Do you think that's what happened? No. No. Lange is behind this. It's a club signing. We've seen this all before. It happens every freaking time. So this guy here is signing the players, not De Zerbi, which is a problem because this guy here signs rubbish. The occasional half-decent signing, but mostly rubbish. The reason Ben Davies has got a new contract is because of this man here, right? This is the guy that's building the squad. Why is he here? Why is Lange still here? Right? He's awful. If there's one thing that we were all united on last season, if there's one thing every Spurs fan from New Zealand to Canada, from Bolivia to Beijing, from the North Pole to the South Pole, and from London to sunny Cyprus, if there's everything, there's one thing we all agreed on, it was that this mofo needed to be removed from the club with immediate effect. He should have gone at the start of February when the transfer window shut, and he told us on that stupid YouTube video that he put out, we couldn't find any players to sign that were better than what we already had. It's your job to find better players. That's your freaking job, man. That's what you get paid to do. So you're saying the money you get paid, you can't do the job. That's what he said. He should have been sacked. But no, he's still here. He's still here. And when the transfer window opens and hopefully Tottenham spend money, not just free signings, this circus act is in charge. So I'm going to ask one more time. And then I'm going to go to the comments and see what you say. Why the F is Lange still here? Please let me know. All right? So let's see what you think. Let's see what you think. I can't believe he's still here, man. Lange looks like that guy that used to be in Neighbours back in the day. Do you know? I know exactly what you're talking about. I just can't remember the guy, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. We've got an Arsenal fan here saying, because your ownership has no clue. It's hard to disagree. The board have no ambition. Because we have owners without a footballing brain. But I thought if we stay up, he would be gone. I was told by everyone. Villa reject. Why didn't Lange become a postman? Because he can't deliver. He can't be a postman, mate. He can't deliver. Because his plan worked out. Yeah, his plan. Brilliant. You're asking the right question, but asking the wrong people. And do you know what? That's a fair question. That's a fair comment to make. I'm asking the wrong people. We need to ask Vinay. Vinay, why is Lange? In fact, we can't even ask Vinay because why is Vinay still here? Why is the Gooner, the Arsenal board member who got managed out so that Arsenal could actually win trophies, why is he here? Because he's Vinay's boyfriend. That would be one hell of a story if that was true. Because Vinay's clueless as well. Yeah, he needs to go. They both need to go. He's still here because he's not going anywhere. I'll tell you what. If we needed someone to state the obvious, this is the way we do it. This is it. I don't think he's going anywhere either, by the way. I don't think Lange is going anywhere. And I said it. I was saying it for the last freaking 2 months of the season. Lange ain't going anywhere. Because Enoch are not that interested in footballing side of the football club. We stayed up, job done. Yeah. If a few months down the road, his depth has no impact on the team, I'll be here to rub it in your face. I don't want to hear you. Don't like point scoring either if that happens. What the fuck are you talking about? If a few months down the road, every single Spurs fan that I know on every platform and all the channels that I don't really watch, but I get sent clips of, and all the stuff on X that gets put in all the WhatsApp groups, every single person said they wanted Lange out. Everyone. What do you mean point scoring? Point scoring on what? Everyone wanted Lange. Go on the Spurs 5. Sean wanted him gone. Johnny, Lubo, me, Sava. Go on the Spurs corner. Mari, Iggy, Maz, JP. Go on Tottenham TV. Ben, Sim, Brian Daigle. Go on Last One on Spurs. Go on that clown Cowlins channel. Go on the Danilist show. Go on the Hotspur Hood. Go on Mr. Box Office. Danny Kiriakou. Go on anyone. Ellie. I'm trying to think of everyone. Manny. If I've missed anyone out, apologies. Everybody said, we've got to get rid of Lange. How can you rub it in my face? What are you doing? What are you doing? What is this madness? What that is going to go down as the most ridiculous comment. What month are we in? Yeah, of June. Club don't know what they're doing. Yeah, Your guess is as good as mine. My guess is they actually like Lange, sorry. They actually like him. Our team isn't great, but we have much more quality than Burnley, and half the battle with this team was shit. The problem was we should never have sacked Ange, and I said it at the time, because the chemistry with players and manager was there. If you're going to sack Ange, bring in De Zerbi straight away. Bring in Jurgen Klopp. Bring in a manager who plays attacking football, similar to what the players were told to play, but is a better coach, right? We know De Zerbi's better than Ange. We know Klopp is better than De Zerbi and Ange. To bring in Thomas Frank was criminal, man. And at the time, I was going mad over this. I was, I couldn't go too crazy, because then you're just, you're a hater, go support Arsenal, give it a chance, you just love Ange. No, I just wanted continuity. I think the biggest problem with this team last season was the manager. It was Thomas Frank and his assistant. They were simply no good. Recruitment is the reason why we can't get back into Europe. Because as much as I don't think we should have finished 17th, we should definitely finish in the top 10 minimum. That squad was good enough for top 10. And I made that point every single week. The squad is better than what we're watching. It's the coach. But I didn't believe the squad was good enough for Europe, because the recruitment wasn't good enough. That's where I agreed with people that moaned about the recruitment. And our forward line is the worst forward line I've ever seen at Tottenham in Premier League years. So I think, chop cheese, the problem last year was a dog shit manager. Tudor, by the way, was worse than Frank. Worse than Frank. I thought the managers we appointed last season were a disaster, and the recruitment was just really underwhelming. And those two together combined on us finishing 17th. If we had better recruitment, we would have finished mid-table. If we had crap recruitment but a better manager, we would have finished mid-table. But to have bad recruitment and a bad manager, yeah, we're in a relegation battle for sure. Spurs will not get class players whilst Lange... Look, I think we'll get some good players, because Senesi's a good signing, right? I don't think Senesi's a bad signing, guys. I think Senesi's a really good player for Tottenham. Suits the way we want to play. But the problem with Lange is he'll sign a Paulinho, but then he'll go and sign a fucking Moani and a Sousa. So what's the point of signing Paulinho if he's got to play with Sousa and Moani? That's the problem with Lange. If you're going to sign a Paulinho and a Xavi Simons and a Mohamed Kudus and you're going to keep signing those players, brilliant. But if you're expecting those players to then go and play next to fucking Solanke, and you're going to sign, kids like Gray and Bergvall who haven't done it for us, I'm sorry, man. You can't expect Mohamed Kudus to be good when he's got to link up with Gray and Bergvall every week. It doesn't work like that. That's the issue with Lange. He's not good enough. The day Lange was sacked from Villa, Leedy was ringing him up, someone and saying it on TalkSport. I forgot their name. Oh, I don't know. Mate, as soon as Lange got sacked from Villa, Villa finished top 4, got Champions League, won the Europa Cup. They're back in the Champions League. His past trophies experience isn't going to do shit to help us. I think you're talking about Robertson. I think. The thing is, if we got relegated, Davies would be a starter and our captain. I think he would have been gone. I think if we got relegated, everything would have been cleared out, like completely gutted. Anyway, look, Ben Davies, he's fans like him. Fans like him. Lange staying typifies the ambition of the board. It's just criminal, bro. It's so... I look at the football director Arsenal have got now. Do you know how freaking good he is, man? Do you know how good he is? They've got such a good football director. There's a reason Arsenal are signing players that tick the boxes. It's because they've got good football directors, and we just don't know what we're doing. And it's such an important role as well at the club. If we had good owners or a good director of football, the club signings would at least be quality. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Davies was proof. Nothing has changed. I bet my house we won't sign Van Hecke. We're going to get onto that one because I think Brighton have sussed us out. It's not hard, but I think they have. Big up, Jamie Git. How are you doing? Big up, still tired of Spurs bullshit. Spurs where mediocrity is rewarded, aka Ben Davies, because he don't understand how to run a successful football club. All those statements they put out in the summer, right? And they re-sign Ben Davies and they keep Lange. It just doesn't. It doesn't add up. Spurs could have signed Akalouche. What a signing he would have been, by the way. What a signing Akalouche would have been. Lookman would have been good. Solis looks like he's off to Arsenal. So we've all those players. Yeah, none of them are coming to Tottenham. Lange is a shield to Enoch and he's more than happy to take the flak. Well, do you know what? I wonder how much he's on. I bet he's on a couple of million. Lange. I think Levy in charge would have sacked Lange. Wasn't Levy the one that hired him? I'm just asking. I think he hired him. I wonder if they haven't been able to find a replacement for Lange that wants to join the club. I don't think they're looking for a replacement. I think they're looking for someone to work with him, which is the problem. Because if you're a football director, you want to run the show. You don't want to work with someone, because when you work with someone in the same job, it's like having two managers. Let's say I want to make a substitution. I want to take off Moani and I want to bring on Solanke. What if the other manager wants to keep on Moani but take off Richarlison? What do you do? How does anything get done? And I think this is why Paratici said, you know what, see you later. The manager's role has to be one person. The director of football role has to be one person. And I think Tottenham are trying to go for this dual director of football role, which I don't know any other club that does it. And I don't understand why we would want to do something that no one else does, thinking that that's going to make a difference. No, we just need a really good director of football. I want Ralph Rangnick. This is someone I've been talking about for a long, long time. Ralph Rangnick built the Leipzig group. All the Leipzig teams, he built them. He found Jurgen Klopp. Ralph Rangnick invented Gegenpress and Klopp mastered it. Ralph Rangnick is a footballing visionary. He knows how to build structures, systems, processes. He knows how to build an operation of football, the actual stuff where a ball and kicking it is involved. And the business side, let the business people do their thing. Ralph Rangnick is a proper strategist. He is a brilliant football director. I would have loved him to come in and he told Man United everything that's wrong with them and they ignored him and he ended up leaving. And then Man United went to shit. Ralph Rangnick told them. He would come to Spurs and tell everyone, this is what you're doing wrong. This is what we need to do. This is how I'm going to do it. Listen to me. You think Lange can do that? You think Lange is capable of what I've just described? He's never done it in his life, let alone to come to Tottenham and do it. We need a proper football director. It's key. I think Lange is a puppet. Yeah, to be fair, a few of you are saying that. You're probably right, guys. I wouldn't disagree. Do we really need a director of football? Yes, we do. The owners should just look at all the Spurs YouTubers and just buy the players they want. It's not a bad shout. Watch my videos. I want some commission though, right? If we sign any players off of my video, I want a little something. It ain't easy out here. Nah, look. We need a director of football. Jokes aside, we need a director of football. We need someone that understands what talent is out there, what players suit the system of the manager. If the manager's going to leave or we're going to move the manager on, how to identify the next manager so the same system continues, how the academy can bleed those players into the first team and have a player pathway, something I've often complained about. There's no player pathway from academy transitioning the bridge into the first team. You know, a football director does all of that. And it's important. And he builds scouting networks. Do you know who's another good football director? I forgot his name. I'll tell you now. I think it's Pinto or Punto. I'll tell you now who's another good football director. His name is... that's it. Yeah, it was Pinto. Tiago Pinto. Tiago Pinto is the football director at Bournemouth. He's done a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. That's the kind of guy we need. A Tiago Pinto. There's good football directors out there. We've got donkeys at the club. I have no idea why. Simply put, Lange saved Lewis's money. Yeah, maybe there's an agreement. Lange said, look, if we stay up, can I keep my job? Because I'm part of us staying up, even though I got us into this stupid mess. And they probably had a little handshake. I think I finally get why you wanted delegation. It's too late now. It's too late. Lange clearly has some effed up vids on the Indian Mr. Burns. Let's talk about Vinay. Vinay. Is Vinay Indian or Sri Lankan, by the way? Vinay is born in the UK, so he's British. Venkatesham sounds Sri Lankan. He's probably Indian, though. Indians are very good at business, right? Some of the smartest brains in business are Indian. What's Vinay doing, man? He needs to tap his Indian business. Maybe that's the problem. He's a businessman. Maybe that's the problem. We don't want another businessman. We want a football person. In fact, I've sussed it out. He's a fucking businessman. That's the problem. Nothing changes until the top changes. Just mentioned him. Tiago Pinto. Totally agree, mate. 100%. No question of a doubt. Do you know, one brilliant thing about Tiago Pinto is he builds fantastic scouting networks across Europe. The scouting network he has built across Europe is really impressive. I don't believe we've got anything like that going on at Tottenham. You know they are still paying Androff. We're probably still paying off Conte and Mourinho and Frank. Then they still have to pay. Yeah, mate. So I don't know if you know this, Nita. Tottenham have paid out over £110 million. £110 million in compensation to managers in the last 10 years or something. 110 million. It's like that. It's like a UK government just pissing money down the drain. Isn't it? We're no different to British. Tottenham is the British politics of football. What's going on, my darling still, mate? I hope you're well. I'm good. How are you? Big up the chat too. I hope everyone's good. Our fans accept the crap, so Enoch has no reason to go the extra mile to prove success. Agreed. Ben and Sim lost the plot, if ever they had the plot. It's a bit harsh. Ange had the players in the palm of their hands. Yep. The club keeps doing this because the local N17 fans will renew no matter what. Do you know, I didn't renew this year. I've given my ticket to my friend's son. Instead of protesting about nearly being relegated, they thought it was better idea to have a parade. We should have a parade that Ben Davies has re-signed. Ange Ball was not sustainable. I agree, but I don't think we should have sacked him unless we had a much better manager coming in. Sacking him for Frank was awful. We're in the era of systems over individual players. The coach is more important than ever. I think the players as well. Frank is the worst. He's got the worst stats as a Spurs coach. We need to strengthen up front desperately. That is the non-negotiable. It's the most important area of the entire squad. If we do not fix that front three, it's all over. Still, that wasn't a solo take. I was answering someone else in the chat. Okay, cool. No worries, man. All good, chopped cheese. Brighton are mugging us off. Well, they're playing ball, right? They're playing ball. They are essentially holding us to ransom to some degree, and they know we want something that they have, and they want something a bit more in return. You know, Bloom is a good operator. He learned under Levy, so he's just using Levy's tactics on us. You know, if I was Brighton, I'm going to give you my best centre back, who for the last 4 years, all his metrics have been upwards. He's constantly improving. He's constantly getting better. Loves De Zerbi. Wants to play for De Zerbi. Played for De Zerbi. De Zerbi really wants him. Brighton know this is a move Tottenham badly want and the player wants. So they're saying, cool, pay us, but we want that guy there as well. Why would you not play that move? Well, we should do that. Like, for example, when we sold Harry Kane, we should have said, fine, you can buy Harry Kane, but we also want that player right there. Not Tell, right? Not fucking Tell. Find a player that's good at buying, that's not really playing much, and say, well, we need him as well. I'm not against us doing stuff like that. I get what Brighton are doing. It makes sense. Vuskovic isn't ready for the Premier League. I don't mind putting him in the Van Hecke deal. Guys, listen, I'll be honest with you. When it comes to Vuskovic, I haven't seen enough of him to know. I know everyone highly rates him and everyone says he's going to be a player one day. This boy, you wait and see. But then I hear other people that actually watch the league he plays in, and they say he's slow. Like he's not what you lot think. So I don't know, right? I can't give you an opinion on Vuskovic. He gets a lot of praise from our fans, but is that because he's young? He's one of our own academy player kind of thing? I don't know. I think we need to try 3 directors of football. Mate, let's just have a party. Let's, like the final supper, let's just get 12 people around the table and just call them all directors of football. I'm up for it. Let's do it. We need to improve now, not after 4 seasons. We need to improve every season. Every season. Ralph Ragnick, listen, if he's available, we should be on the phone, speaking to him, putting the feelers out there, seeing if it's something that we can make happen and, you know, start becoming a serious operation football-wise. Brighton seem to think Vuskovic is ready for the Premier League. I trust their recruitment more than Spurs fans that have ever watched him. That's a fair shout, by the way. It's hard to argue. Who would you trust more, Spurs fans or Brighton's recruitment? I agree, Brighton's recruitment. I'm pretty sure Brentford are the only other club in the league that have a dual DOF role, but it's night and day the difference in how, yeah, look, you're right. To compare us to Brentford and their operation. Also, they operate under a different set of expectations and I guess required goals that they want to achieve as outcomes at the end of each season. You'd like to think Spurs operate in a different stratosphere in terms of expectation, goal setting and things like that. Having said that, having finished 17th 2 years in a row, maybe we don't. Maybe I've just completely contradicted everything I just said. Evening, Kabasi. That doesn't mean we should give away great talent and pay too much for an overrated player with 1 year left. That would be dumb. I think we're kind of desperate as well, though. Like AD3, I hear what you're saying. Because we are really in the shit, right? The squad needs a major overhaul. It's needed a major overhaul. The day Pochettino, November 2019, 6 years ago, Pochettino said, we need a painful rebuild. We haven't done it. It's been 6 years and we haven't done it. That's why we're 17th 2 years in a row. We need a painful rebuild. So we might have to do some dumb things financially in order to get the players we need to make it happen. As long as we get the right players, right? As long as the right players are the ones coming in, we might just have to pay over the odds because we are desperate. We have fallen behind massively. Question, what is Vinay doing? He's scratching his balls, drinking a bottle of red wine and watching the World Cup. Happy days. Told you the club need to put you on a retainer. Do you know what? I would never. I actually could have worked for Spurs in the academy many years ago, and I said no because there was too many controlling factors that the coaches had to operate under, and I just felt there's a lack of freedom. I think when you've got the shackles tied to your feet, I can't enjoy work like that. So, also, I'm not a very good company man. I've been my own boss since I was 32 years old, and before that, I worked for other people, and it was just a catalogue of catastrophe. You know, I can't work for people, unfortunately. I even struggle to work with people at times as well. Personality, character, deficiencies, maybe. The fact that the Lewis family is selling their art. Listen, Renzo, I don't believe anything they put out in the media. Right? I believe these stories. They're great sound bites. They're great news. It's transfer season, gossip. That's what it's all about. Any of this stuff. Half the videos I make saying Tottenham are linked to this player. Here's a video. I don't even believe the video that I'm doing. Like, I don't believe that we're linked to the player. I believe in my analysis. So when I do an analysis on a player, I 100% believe in what I present to you and my verdict. But the beginning bit where I say Spurs are linked to, I don't believe any of that. I don't believe a freaking word. I believe it when they sign, right? When they sign, okay, now I believe, this is legit. What are you guys worried about? Tell them Gray will come good and lead us to glory, guys. Come on. This is what Enoch hopes we believe. Moving on swiftly. Yeah, Thiago Pinto mentioning Brandon. Bournemouth are cooking with their recruitment. Fantastic recruitment. Even the way they hire managers is really impressive. Dortmund's old sporting director is good. Michael Zorc. Where is he now? Spurs King. Where's Michael Zorc right now? We've got Butler in the building. 110 million is the cost of doing bad business. My chairman, not my owners. You do know that your chairman owns 30% of the business, making him a part owner. I'm just saying, Sean. I'm just putting it out there. You like shares and numbers and spreadsheets. 30% is owned by your chairman. But we won't talk about that. But thanks for being here, Sean. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Disgusting behavior from the top. Sean, hi. That's from Nita. We are an incredibly wealthy club, but we're always wasting money. It's the recruitment, isn't it? I think. Look, there's not a Spurs fan that doesn't disagree that the recruitment at this football club is nothing short of just average. So it's just substandard. Stell as football director. Do you know, if the Lewis family weren't in charge, do you know what job I would like? I'd like to be the head scout. Not the football director, because that's a different stratosphere. But let me identify the talent. Let me go out there and watch. And I'll tell you what's what. And let me tell you which academy kids are the ones we've really got to get into that first team, training with them on a regular basis so the manager can really suss it out. I would like that. Or managing a team. Yeah. Managing or head scout. Director of football, though, Lee, you've got to build up a network. You've got to build up a web with structure. and layers upon layers. It's almost a business role, a technical role, a financial role, a footballing role, a visual role. There's a lot of skill required. You need to be a proper brain, like a real mad scientist type person to be brilliant at it. I don't think that's me. But thanks for the shout, though. I mean, appreciate it. A user with a super chat. Thank you very much. Play Vuskovic next season. Get Hecke on a free in 12. Agreed, but do we risk other clubs coming in and getting him on a free and he gets wooed by another club? Especially if we're not in Europe next season as well. It's a risk, isn't it? Still, what happened to that DJ taking Levy's shares? I don't know. This is why I don't believe what's said, guys. You know, this is why I say I don't believe it until I see it, because the media are very manipulative and football's manipulative. They know how to create fiction and distraction and deflection and fantasy and push prices up, push prices down. Everything's done for a reason. And quite often, a lot of the news that you see in life, the reason is something completely different to what you're made to believe is really going on. You know, it's look over here, so you're not looking at what's actually happening here, because actually this is where you should be looking. But you look over here because that's where the story's going to be. You've got to read between the lines. It's a skill in itself. But if you can read between the lines, you get a more realistic picture of what's actually going on. So that's my take on it. I believe that we will win. I hope so. Our midfield is the weakest for the longest time. Keep saying it. Football is moving fast. The best clubs are running on the pitch because of their midfield. Listen, it's the engine room of a team. It's the creation. A midfield has two things to do. Get the ball from defence to the attackers, and then protect the defence from the opposing midfield and attackers that want to penetrate us. So their job is dual. Support the attack, protect the defence. It's a dual role. It's the hardest working role. So a lot of running, a lot of mobility. If you get the midfield right, you're 70% there. You're 70% there. I don't disagree with you. I have a bad feeling we'll start this season with Lange. If we fucking start with those two, I swear to God, I don't want to hear anything from any Spurs fan telling me about change and these statements and Enoch and De Zerbi's not a yes man and Lange. I don't want to hear anything. Anything. Those two are at this club next season and that's the starting attack. I don't want to hear a word from anyone. Believe you me. I don't think that will be the case, by the way. I'm pretty convinced we're going to sign at least one or two forwards that are far more capable than what we've got. If not, then boy. Let's talk about Van Hecke. So, really, really good centre-back. He's got two weaknesses. One is pace, and the other one is he's not that great in the air, which is typical of every player we seem to be looking at, because Marco Senesi is also a player that's not that good in the air. However, in terms of ball playing, passing, possession, tackling, this guy's brilliant. This guy's brilliant. And he has been, for the last 4 years, on an upward trajectory. All his metrics up, up, up. And what's beautiful about him is he's in his mid-20s. So he's in his mid-20s with an upward set of metrics that we would measure him by to assess the level of player he is. So upward metrics for 4 years. He's in his mid-20s, so he hasn't even got to his prime. Plenty of Premier League experience, plays the De Zerbi way, has played for De Zerbi, and this is the exact kind of player you should be looking at saying, right, you've got experience, you've got quality, you play a way that suits our system, and all your metrics are constantly improving. You need to go to a bigger club now. You need to make that step up. This makes total sense to me. Makes perfect sense to me to sign Van Hecke, especially with a coach like De Zerbi who can refine him, right? I am 100%. If you were to say to me, Senesi or Van Hecke? I would pick Van Hecke because Senesi's 29. That's the only reason. Both similar players, but Van Hecke, he's got age on his side. What we're seeing now is the best of Senesi. The season Senesi just had was the best season he's ever had. Van Hecke hasn't even had his best season yet, and he's doing really well. So the upward potential is far greater, and he would probably end up being better than Senesi. However, we've had 2 bids rejected. So either Spurs just aren't paying the money being asked and we're pissing around again like we always do, or Brighton are playing hardball. I think it's a bit of both. I think if we say to Brighton 70 million, we get the player. Problem is, Van Hecke's not a 70 million pound player, so we shouldn't pay that. But that might be what it has. That might be what it takes to get the player. And this is what I was saying to you earlier on. We're in a desperate situation. If we really want a player, we might have to pay it over the odds to get the player because clubs know we're desperate because we're in a mess as a club. But we can't be paying 70 million pounds for him because he's not worth that. It doesn't make sense. So what do? Well, I think what Brighton have done is they know they're not going to get the money they want. So what they've said is, fine, we will sell him to you at 50 million pounds, 55, but we want Vuskovic. There you go. You don't have to pay 70 million, but effectively we will pay 70 million because Vuskovic is probably worth about 25, 30 million. Well, 55 plus 25. Well, it's 80 million. It's more. So, but it's not cash that you actually have to physically play because we never paid 25 million for Vuskovic. We paid was it 5 million, something like that? So effectively it would cost us around about 60 if you don't factor in what the valuation of Vuskovic is. Actual cash transaction, well, we paid 5 million for Vuskovic, so that's 5 million they're going to get. Plus, we're going to give them another 55 million, so really it's 60 mil. Actual cash, not including valuation. So is there a case to say, well, maybe we should sell Vuskovic for 30 million, plus the 55, we've now got 85 million to play with. Well, there's your 60 million, Brighton. And we've still got 25 million to play with. But are we going to find a player like Vuskovic for 25 million? I don't know. But Brighton are playing hardball. They know what they're doing. I would do exactly the same. And I think Tottenham should be doing exactly the same if roles were reversed. So we're in a standoff. We are in a standoff with Brighton. If we want this guy and we don't think we can find better for the same price, then this guy, in some way, shape, or form, is going to have to be part of the deal, which it seems Spurs and a lot of Spurs fans are very reluctant in doing. Or we pay more for this guy, and therefore we keep Vuskovic. I don't know what Tottenham's going to do. What would I do? I haven't seen enough of Vuskovic to know, so I can't actually answer this question. I haven't seen Vuskovic to know how good he is or how overhyped he is. The question really is, are there better centre-backs with experience, Premier League, who can play in a De Zerbi team for the price Brighton want for Van Hecke? Arsenal paid, I think it was 25 million for Saliba. Saliba went on loan for a couple of years, and now look. I reckon there's better players out there for cheaper than Van Hecke, but they might not be ready right now. And that's the thing. We're paying a premium because he's Prem proven. Arsenal signed Saliba when he was 19, 20, when he was young. Van Hecke's 25. 4 very good years. The last 2 years, he's proven his true quality. Is he elite? No. Is he world class? No. Is he very good? Yes, he is. Can he become a top player? Yeah, of course he can. That's what a good coach can do. Take a very good player and make them a special player. So my thoughts are, if De Zerbi really, really wants this player and he believes it's imperative we get this player for his system and for his 5-year project, then we've got to make it happen. And if that means that Vuskovic has to be part of the deal, so be it. I would be cheeky. I would say, give us Van Hecke, and you can have Vuskovic for 1 season or maybe 2 on loan, but you don't have to pay a loan fee. Just pay his wages. So a free loan, they pay the wages, a free loan for 2 years, and we get Van Hecke. But would Vuskovic agree to that? Probably not. Probably not, because he wants to cement himself as a starting centre-back for a club. And if rumours are true, again, rumours, Real Madrid want him, Barcelona want him. Fuck those. So we're in a sticky situation. It's why in the title of this show, I've called it Van Hecke and Vuskovic standoff. We are in a standoff with Brighton. And Brighton know exactly what they're doing. They're being super smart about it. We've just got to make a decision. How badly do we want Van Hecke, and how badly do we want Vuskovic? Answer those 2 questions, and then you will know what to do next, Tottenham. If you can't answer those questions, we're going to be in a stupid standoff going through the whole summer. So someone at the club needs to make a decision. Me, I would look at the plausibility of signing Van Hecke and giving Vuskovic to Brighton on a loan on the basis that Vuskovic agrees to the loan. And I tell you what, if Vuskovic does well at Brighton, that's a Prem-proven player now that comes back to Tottenham. We get the best of all worlds because he hasn't proven himself in the Premier League. So maybe that's the right play. But Brighton are probably going to want to sign him because if he does prove himself well, they're going to want to cash in like they do with all their players when they sign the Casados and the Van Heeks and the Pedros and everyone else for stupid money. So Brighton's business model is get the player at a good price, sell him much higher 2-3 years down the line. That's how they do it. So they're probably going to want to sign him, which makes my loan deal idea a very difficult one to pull off. Now, if we had a good director of football, I think it could be done. But with Lange, I have zero confidence this will get done the right way because Lange is absolutely dog shit. What do you think? What would you do? I've told you my plan, what I would do. Let's have a look. He's not final product, so that would be advantageous. The day Spurs YouTube stop comparing everything to Arsenal or their players is the day I'll take them serious. Then why'd you watch the show, bro? Why are you watching it? When Van Hecke went forward, we held back. We got moved to right. FB to cover Van Hecke moving forward. That makes João vital with Van Hecke. Yeah, but these movements are systematic, right? They're part of the system. The manager is the guy that instructs the movement that is triggered by one player on the ball that makes a movement or one player that steps into a role that triggers the movement of the others. When the fullbacks used to push up, Danny Rose and Kyle Walker at Tottenham, Eric Dyer would drop and make a triangle, Dyer, Toby, Van de Ven. But when the fullbacks were either both back or one of them held, they'd go to a back 3 flat. Now, those different movements are all triggered by who moves. Right, Eric Dyer knows, right, I need to drop. If only one goes, then the other fullback would shuffle over. Right, I need to move. So depending on who moves, that triggers the movement. So what you've just described here, Rob, that's what De Zerbi would do his way with Van Hecke. So where you say that makes João vital with Van Hecke, no, it makes the system that's coached vital to any player. That's the key point. it's not the player themselves, it's the coach that teaches the patterns of movement which are triggered by other players either on the ball or who have made a run. You can always put a buyback clause in his contract. Yeah, listen, there you go. There you go, spot on. That's another way of doing it. I'm all for that as well. Totally agree. Hear what? Tottenham till I die. No turncoat in my corner. Name calling, can wash. Your team is your team. Coys. Tony Bloom equals Seaside Daniel Levy. Tony Bloom's better than Levy. Tony Bloom's better. He learned, and he went and did it better. Stell is a pagan. Scott is too. So, what does that make you for choosing to watch a pagan channel? Just asking. Good night and God bless. Have a great week. I hope your dreams come true, and I hope you find what you're looking for. Peace. Pretty sure Brighton value Van Hecke at 50 million. Where's this 70 million coming from? Spurs King is what I was trying to say to you. Clubs know we're desperate. They know Spurs is fucked as a club and they need a massive overhaul. And they're not oblivious. They would have seen the public statement from Lewis, the public statement from Vinay, the public statement from, who's the other one come from? Vinay, Charrington. They would read all this and say, bloody hell, look at Tottenham. They're admitting they got it all wrong. They're admitting they've got to fix it all. They've admitted that they're going to do it all. Fine. Well, then I want a piece of that pie. My player is now 70 million. That's what's happening. Clubs know that we're in the mud. Do you remember when Man United finished 16th? They had to pay over the odds on wages to get Mbeumo and Cunha and these players. That's because everyone knew Man United were desperate. They knew Man United were fucked. The worst position you can be is in a desperate position, because then that's when everyone will be ruthless. That's what I believe is happening. How much would it cost to poach the whole Bournemouth scouting department and data analysts? We just need their football director. We just need Pinto. Mind you, he'd probably bring them with him anyway. If I was Anton, I'd be pissed. He's only getting 7 minutes plus overtime. Vlahovic and Harry Wilson both free. Is that a picture of Sava? That's not Sava, is it? Spurs fans getting attached to a player who has never played for us in the Premier League is top-notch Spursy. Look, I can't speak about this because I haven't seen enough of him to give you a genuine, honest assessment. So I don't want to talk about a player that I genuinely don't know much about. I've heard mixed things. I've heard he's brilliant. I've heard he's going to be a future star. A lot of clubs want him or they wanted him. I've also heard people that have watched him play say, look, he's overhyped, he's slow, he's not ready for the Premier. I don't know. I really don't know. Big up Jimmy Hotspur. Question: window opens tomorrow. Seriously, still, how many players are we signing from here, excluding the two already? I think I don't know. I really don't know. I think a lot of it depends on who's leaving as well. Because, in fact, I'm going to come on to something in just a minute. Jimmy, linked to that. Why don't we just do what we do best and just take forever? Well, we probably will. Van Hecke wants Spurs and De Zerbi only, so play that because next season he's free. Yeah, but if he's free, another club might come in January and pay big money to stop him coming from Tottenham, or maybe another. If Tottenham are in the Champions League next year or in Europe and another club is, they might persuade him, right? It's a risk. I hear what you're saying. When players say they only want Tottenham, that's because no one else bigger has come in yet. If Real Madrid said, we want you, I bet you he goes there. If Barcelona or Bayern Munich said, hold on, Van Hecke, we want you, I bet you he goes there. So I would take this with a little pinch of salt. If Brighton is such a well-run club, why have they never won anything in their history? They've only been well run in recent times with their new owners in place, right? So let's not forget Brighton, because I studied at Brighton University and they were in Division 4, almost non-league. And they won the league. They got into Division 3. They won the league, got into Division 2. Then Division 1, they went back down, Division 1, then Championship, and eventually got in the Premier League. They've been this small, tiny club on the south coast in this little shitty stadium, Rottingdean. That's what we used to call it. It was called Withdean, but we call it the Rottingdean because it was rotting. We used to go there as students and watch because it was like £3 a ticket. Look where they are now. European football, getting to semi-finals of cups. They've come a long, long way, bro. Like, they are really well run now. They've never been a big club before. Now they're doing all the right things. So I hear what you're saying, though. I hear what you're saying. But they're on the right track. They're on the right track. Barber handing it to both Vinay and Lange in negotiation. Oh, is this the guy moaning about talking about Arsenal? Well, I think talking about Arsenal is important because they're the league champions and they've gone through a very successful rebuild and there's lessons to be learned. And if we can't compare from the best, and I know this might upset you, Arsenal are the best right now. That's why they won the league. If we can't compare to them, and they were in the Champions League final, losing to the best team in the world, if we can't compare what they do to what we do to learn lessons, then we're starving ourselves of the kind of analysis required to understand how we can improve our club. I don't want to do that just because they're Arsenal. I hate them. Right? I hate Arsenal. But I'm also honest about they've got brilliant recruitment. They've got an ownership that's 10 times better than ours. Buddy, let me show you something just so you can understand, right? This is the Cronkies, right? This is the Kroenke ownership. And you don't want me to compare Tottenham to this lot. Stan Kroenke won the American Super Bowl with the LA Rams twice. The Ice Hockey Stanley Cup twice with Colorado Avalanche. The NBA Championship with the Denver Nuggets. The MLS, so the Soccer of America, champions with the Colorado Rapids. And now Arsenal. Mate, this isn't a fluke. He's got a success formula. We can learn from this. Our owners should be looking at this and saying, we can learn from this. So I will talk about Arsenal if I want to either hate on them or if I want to use them as a comparison as to what we should be doing regarding certain behaviors, okay? As much as I hate them, they are what they are, man. They are what they are. Still, people like Joe are the reason we never grow. We're too emotional as a fan base, man. Take your emotion out of it. You've got to be cold. To support Tottenham, be cold. Have no emotion. Show your emotion when we win a trophy. Then you just go nuts. But you've got to be cold because our emotion gets the better of us. It always gets the better of us. And we end up just jumping on any bullshit like, yeah, we got Frank. We just need a coach. And Moani, good player, can't wait. Yeah, Tottenham don't. I don't jump on all that stuff. The emotion gets the better of us. Arsenal are the most boring team. Yeah, 100%. But do you think their fans gave a shit when 800,000 took to the streets of Islington to party? We won the most boring Europa Cup final, Scott. Our Europa Cup final was dog shit. I was there. Do you think I gave a shit when we beat Man United? I was drinking till 4 a.m. I flew back. I got 6 hours sleep, drunk, and went to another parade and did it all over again because the parade was the 2 days after. Do you think I cared that we were crap in the final? No. I loved it. I love the fact we won stinky because it winds up all the away fans. It winds up all the haters. It's not rocket science. Spend $1 billion, stink the place out, cheat dive and cry to PGMO. And, bro, come on, man. They came second 3 times. It's been coming. Do you remember Liverpool? They came second, then they won it. If you keep knocking at the door and you keep investing, eventually you're going to find success. There's a pattern to it. We just don't do that at Tottenham. When we get to that point, we don't go to the next bit. Hi, Estelle, just joined in your show. Hope you're well. Thank you very much. Welcome. Yeah, I said to Jimmy Hotspur about 20 minutes ago, in 1 minute, I'm going to go on to something he said, and I clearly didn't do that. So, Jimmy, I'm sorry. But, yeah, let's talk about this. Pedro Porro. New deal. It's a whopping deal. I believe I'm going to get the exact deal on the screen so I don't misquote. So let's share this with you all so you can see it too. I'm sure you've already seen it, but for the sake of our show, I think it's wise. So let's get the picture of Porro off the screen. New deal for Porro. We are delighted to announce that Pedro Porro has signed a new long-term contract. Let's get to the actual details of it. Sporting director Johan Lange said securing Pedro's future was an important priority for us this season. I hope De Zerbi sees that there's something about him, because when he was the attacking fullback at Sporting Lisbon, Porro was actually brilliant. You know, when we first signed him, I remember doing a show with Charlie. I don't know if you remember Charlie, young Charlie. What's the name of his channel now? Is it Charlie Talks Spurs or Charlie Talks Football? But Charlie watched a lot of Sporting, and he said to me, he's a really good player. Like, this is a really good player. I said, okay, cool. So when we signed him, yeah, I liked Porro. He's had a very up and down couple of years, but I also think that's because we've had too many managers, too many systems, too much transition, poor recruitment. He's been demotivated. But what I will say is, in Ange's first season, Pedro Porro was our joint top assist creator against the top 10 teams. So when we played the Big Ten, Porro was an elite performer for us from a creative perspective. And I'm just hoping De Zerbi unlocks that creative element of Porro in that attacking, flamboyant style of play, but then finds a way to structure the team so that they can mobilize across and protect from a defensive perspective when Porro is caught out or has to recover, because Porro is not good defensively. So as long as he can provide cover for Porro from the defensive aspect, then listen, this could turn out to be really good. We're going to find out. I'm trying to see if there's any news on the actual deal itself. How much is he getting? How long is the deal for? Does it say? He's played 150 experiences. Pedro. De Zerbi said, Porro is a very important player for us who has consistently shown his ability to influence matches in both defense and attacking situations. I don't know about the defensive bit, De Zerbi. I think you're waffling there. But attacking, certainly. I also love his mentality. He understands football in a very intelligent way. I'll tell you what, I'm not sure if I agree with some of these quotes, but what's the actual deal? Let's see if we can find the actual deal itself. All right. I can't find it. Does anyone know how long the deal's for? If anyone knows how long the deal's for, can you let me know in the chat, guys? I'd appreciate it. I think I read somewhere it was 5 years, but that is, if that's true, that's a really long deal. Mind you, they're still young. Probably 200K a week, 5-year deal. We can't do probably. Here we go. 2030 with an option of one. Okay, so it's a 5-year deal, 4 years with one extra. Okay, so it's a 5-year deal. I'll call it 4 years plus an optional. So that keeps him here until he's 30 years old. Because I do believe Pedro Porro is 25. He's 26. Okay. Oh, he's 27 in September. So that's blimey. So that takes him to about 31, 32 years old, which is, that's all right. That's all right. Okay, so age-wise, that's not too bad. Yeah, I just found it. Thank you, Sammy. Big up to you and the kids, by the way. Look, I'm not against this. I'm not against this because I really liked Porro in Ange's first season. I thought he was solid. And I'm actually gutted that I think he would have been brilliant had Conte stayed, because he would have suited the Conte system, the 3-5-2 with them fullbacks. I think the second season of Frank, the whole team went, Ange, the team went to shit. Under Frank, everyone was crap. Under Tudor, we might as well just not bothered. So I think under De Zerbi, we can unlock the Porro that was at Lisbon in that first year of Ange. I do have some faith in him. Defensively, I'm not sure. Got my doubts. But if they can cover him defensively and he can be that attacking forward, crossing, shooting, assisting, right wing back, then yeah, I'm for it. The only thing is, who's the cover? Is it Spence? Is Spence going to be the cover? Because I heard Spence might be leaving. So is keeping Porro, I'm okay with it. But there's got to be someone else that plays in that right back role as well. It can't just be Porro. Porro's basically good going forward and terrible defending. He's fine if we're going with a back three. Yeah, it's kind of what I was just saying now. But they're going to need to mobilise to protect him. Different strengths to Spence. On the fence with Porro deal. Look, to be honest with you, I'm kind of on the fence as well. I'm being a little bit too positive on this one. But I liked the player that he was when he was at Lisbon and the first year of Ange. And if we can get that Porro back, because his stats were brilliant, by the way, then it makes sense to me. If you're going to make exceptions for Pedro Porro, why can't there be exceptions for forwards? Which of our forwards was good to justify it? Pedro Porro was very good at Lisbon. Pedro Porro in Ange's first season was our joint top assist player against the top 10. In the big games, Porro showed. I have some evidence to say I've seen he's good. He's proven it. The data backs it up. But the last 2 years has been poor, but I can say that for all the players. So my question to you, Scooby, is which of the forwards has proven they've been good at Tottenham or elsewhere for me to make the exception? Which player? Tell me. I'm talking about last season. Yeah, but Porro was good at Lisbon and Ange's first season. You're not listening. You're not listening, are you? Which forward was good for me to make the exception? Which one? Was it Tell, Odeber, Solanke, Ritchie, Moani? Which of them? Tell me the years they were good so I can say, oh, yeah, look, they've proven they were good. They just went through a bad 2 years. Tell me which player, and then I can maybe see sense in what you said. Otherwise, you're just kind of ranting because maybe you don't like Porro. Maybe you just don't like Porro, which is fair enough. You can dislike him. In fact, you don't like Porro. Porro is shit. There you go, right? This is where you're going with it. Why don't you just say this instead of all the other waffle, right? Instead of all the other waffle you just posted, why don't you just come in and say it? You think he's shit. I think a lot of Spurs fans think he's shit as well. It's not just you. I disagree, but it's good to disagree. I like us having different opinions. I don't want an echo chamber. Buyback on Vuskovic is worthless, just like Kane's. No chance they would come back. Sell on a fee of 50% would be the only thing that would do. Yeah, but then we sell him, don't we? If he turns out to be good, we want to keep him. Big up the bun. Danny Kane in the house. Nothing in life is fair, Joe. Okay, someone's having a little Barney in the chat. Guys, what's your thoughts on Porro? Are you like Scooby? Do you think he's shit? Or do you think it's worth giving a new contract? Big up, Stel. I am in Paya. Are you watching the England game? Really? Whereabouts? Do you know, I've met up with another guy who lives in... Dude, can you do me a favor? I'm going to put my email in the chat. Right, I've just put my email in the chat. Send me an email, and then we'll exchange numbers and we'll meet up. There's another Spurs fan who watches the channel who lives in Bayer as well, called Alex. Maybe we can get a little Payer Spurs club going. Jodiek, there's my email. It's in the chat. Just send me an email, and we'll try and arrange a meet up or something. What expectations for what forwards? Every forward we have is dog shit. Well, I didn't want to say it, you know. Everyone's got their views. Because our forwards are absolute garbage. Porro, not fucking Porto. We have the worst forwards in the universe. Yeah. This is the worst front three I've ever seen at Spurs in 20 years. And I've seen some shit, but this is levels. Levels. Currently, we don't have a valid forward. Do you know the only one? Does Mohamed Kudus class as a forward? Because if he does, then he's one. But is he? Because we play the front three, and he kind of plays on the right of the three. You know, I'm just saying. But I think Odebert could become good, but he's not good yet. Tell, I don't even want to speak about him because I just get it in the ear from the Tell lovers. Richie, what's he ever done? Solanke, one good season in 10 years of playing football. And that wasn't even at Tottenham. Moani, I can't speak. Even this year, Porro's stats show he's still a top attacking fullback. The data map graph is very solid. Look, Porro, there's two types of players, right? Let me explain this. There's two types of players. There's the versatile, and then there's the system specific. The versatile player can play under any manager, any system, give him the role, and he'll always deliver. Great example, Harry Kane. Whether it's for England, under 4 different managers, under Tottenham, 8 different managers, Bayern Munich, 2 or 3 different managers, he just scores goals. It doesn't matter what the system is, what the formation, attacking, defending, low block, mid block, pragmatic, counter-attacking, possession-based, it doesn't matter. He will get you goals. That's what you call a versatile football player. They're the best players. They're versatile in all circumstances, but they'll deliver for you. Then you've got system-specific, which is a certain player that only does well in a certain style of football. But if that style is their style, they're good. You can get good output. That's Porro. Porro is a system-specific, a style-based player. We've got to play a certain way to suit him. A lot of Spurs players like that. So if we try and not play that either 3-5-2 or the fullbacks pushing up and effectively being attackers, taking more risk at the back and letting them be exposed a little bit, if we're not prepared to do that, then Porro's never going to be good. He's just not going to do it. And that's the reality of it. I'll tell you who was a good right back that was versatile. really versatile was Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker was the same as Harry Kane. Top performer, top output, different managers, different systems, different styles of play for club and country. Even at Burnley, he was doing really well there. So some players can just play. Others need a certain style to help. How can anyone defend that forward line? I don't know. Each to their own. Worth keeping him. Other positions more urgently need signings. We need to fix the midfield and the attack, really, especially the attack. Overall, our fullbacks is one of the worst in the Premier League. We don't have single complete fullback. They're all missing. I think the system hurts them. I think, mate, honestly, I think the second year of Ange, the Frank and the Tudor periods really damaged a lot of players at Tottenham. I really do believe that. I don't think some of these players are the shit that some think that they are. And you saw it. You saw De Zerbi get a lift out of the team just by trying to pass the ball and keep possession of it and be a bit more on the front foot and adding a bit of a press. He only had 7 games. Imagine he had a whole season. But yeah, regardless of what I've just said, the attack is dog shit. They can't finish. They lack creativity. If Maddison or Simmons is on the pitch, the number 10 role is completely dead. If Kudus isn't on the wing, there's no wing. So there are certain things that I agree. Scooby's going to go nuts still, just trashed Richie. Oh, you're not having a Barney in the chat. No more loans. The problem with loans is you can't build a squad like that. John Chivers, Gilzine. Porro in the right system will be good in my opinion. He's not a traditional. Listen, that's the case that I was just trying to make. I agree. His first touch is so bad. Depends how we're playing. He looked all right under De Zerbi playing passing football, possession-based football. Big up, still hope you're good. Would you take Morgan Gibbs White? Yes. Yes. I would take Morgan Gibbs White. Yes. I don't understand why people don't like him. He's Prem proven. He scores. He creates. He's a good footballer. He's a good football player. Is he elite? No. Is he better than some of the shit at Tottenham? Absolutely. And can I say, when we played Nottingham Forest, he whooped us twice. Twice he served Tottenham up. Ripped us. I will take Morgan Gibbs White. Absolutely. Moani reminds me of a Labrador trying to run on laminate floor. That's Richarlison. He's always on the ground chewing grass. Top clubs wouldn't have bought Richarlison and Solanke. Spot on. But let's say they tried them out. They wouldn't have kept them beyond one season, let alone... Mate, 100%. 100%. Richie is so bad. Richie played 500 minutes in 24-25, and we still finished 17th, so I ain't hearing waffle. Yeah, because all the attackers are shit. It's not just Richie that's shit. They're all shit. That's why we finished 17th. It's not just because of Richie. It's because of Moani and Odobert and Tell and Solanke. All of them. Strikers are a priority. We're not scoring, and that is the biggest. Yeah, I agree. We're not scoring. Pretty much since we got fullbacks from outside the English Football League pyramid, it's been blah. So I was doing a video actually talking about Carlos Baleba because some fans think no, some fans think yes. I did a video on him and I said yes. I believe if we were to sign Carlos Baleba, he would be De Zerbi's Danny Rose. What Poch did for Danny Rose, I think De Zerbi could do for Baleba. Bit rough around the edges, bit raw. But there's enough there to say, for his age, there's a real good player that's bursting to come out. Just needs to be refined, needs to be put in the right system, and needs to be coached properly. And I think if you would sign Belieber, I think it would be De Zerbi's Danny Rose project. So I don't necessarily think it's about signing players outside the English pyramid. I think it's about signing. I did another video on Nusa, right? Antonio Nusa. Brilliant dribbler, phenomenal dribbler, elite actually, one of the best in Europe at dribbling, like class. But his output is lacking. And you look at Harry Wilson at Fulham, his output blows Nusa out of the water, and he's proven Harry Wilson. But he's 29, Harry Wilson. Nusa, I think he's 21, 22. But I look at Nusa and I say, you need, and his output's improved every year, by the way. 1 goal, 1 assist, 3 goals, 3 assists, 3 goals, 3 assists. And last season, 4 goals, 4 assists. But is that really enough? Well, we need it to be more. But he's on the upward trajectory. He's 22. He's got all the skill, all the talent, just the output is lacking a bit. That's the job of the coach, to take that and improve that little nugget that needs to be sorted out. So I think it's about Tottenham scouting the players that are either ready-made or they're not quite there. They just need to be coached that extra bit. I would have signed Belieber and Nusa over Archie Gray, Tell and Odobert all day long. They're the players we should have scouted at 1920, not Odobert, Tell and Gray. We've scouted the wrong profile of player. It's not so much the English pyramid issue, Rob. We've scouted the wrong players at the wrong age. You might agree, you might not. Greek bias aside, would you... Bro, just because I'm Greek, why would I not sign a Turkish player, man? What is this madness? I would sign that Yildiz. The is it Yildiz? Yildiz? I'll tell you now. I don't want to get his name wrong. There's a Turkish player, international. Oh my god, I can't. There's a Turkish kid. I think it's called Yildiz or Yildiz. I keep getting his name wrong. Could someone in the chat let me know? Yildiz. My internet's not even letting me bloody look at the Turkish national. Oh, here we go. I've got it. The player is Yilmaz. Now that's a player. That's a player we should sign. And also Arda Güler. I would sign Arda Güler and Yilmaz. They're two very good Turkish players. Yes, yeah. Is it Yilmaz or Yildiz? Sorry, hold on, guys. Sorry, Yildiz, correct. You're right. Yildiz and Güler. Those two, I would love at Tottenham. I don't think we'll get them, though. Drop kick. 100%. 100%. See, that's one good thing about Belieber as well. He's excellent at carrying the ball. He can carry it, transition from defense to attack. Stelios, would you do an analysis on Igor Paxio from Marseille lifting? Okay, let me screenshot it. I'll do it this week. PSG want Gibbs White. Wow. Do you think Marinakis will put a gun to his head again, like he did when he tried to come to Tottenham? Can someone tell me how many goals we conceded when we had a good attack? No idea. But really, we want a good attack, a good midfield, a good defense, and a good goalie. We need everything to be good, no? Scooby? Everything needs to be good, no? Bomba. What's the bomber? Were you not playing? Big up Dan Hotspur Hood. 3 players from Roma. Svilla, Pellegrini, and Ndika. I'd have him. I know him. The other two I don't know, Dan, but you do watch Italian football, so I'll take your word for it. As long as they're better than what we've got, and not just a little bit, they're actually a proper upgrade. I'm all for it. I'm all for it, man. And their quality now, they're not on their way down. Like they've had their best years. They're kind of on a decline. That's another thing I don't want at Tottenham. Tottenham should bring Semedo. Can anyone name 3 or 4 realistic ball playing number 8s we should actually get? I can, mate, Stiller. Oh, realistic. Do you know what? The Danalist, go check out the Danalist. He did a show either last night or the night before. It was late at night, actually going over a lot of players for the number 8 role. Go check out that show. He listed quite a few players. Might be worth having a look at that show. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap it up. We've been going for 2 hours. I don't want to go more than that because I'm 2 hours ahead of you. It's like 11:30 here. Want to see what this Japan team is going to bring. All right. All right, listen, boys and girls and whatever other sex you believe you are. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Appreciate all of you. I'll be doing my videos during the week. I'm also going to do a more analysis linked to players that we're linked to, assuming you believe all that stuff. I mean, it's all gossip, isn't it? But yeah, check out the channel. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Appreciate you all. Next Sunday, back again for another transfer gossip news roundup and all that business and all that jazz. And also, I think what I'm going to do, not now, but in a few weeks' time, I'm going to start doing a comparison of not just the player that I'm analysing and Spurs players, but maybe 3 or 4 players for one position and analysing them all against each other to try and decipher what would be the best player for the position that we're trying to recruit. So, listen, look after yourselves. Big up to you. Thank you as well. Back soon. Have a good week. Have a good Monday. And as always, peace.